This week we took a ferry to the UK for something quite special. For years I've been in touch with Julie, known on YouTube as the American Countess, but somehow we've never managed to meet in person. It was one of those plans that just kept getting pushed, until now. Because this time we've been invited to visit their incredible Mapperton estate in the south of England, and we can't wait to meet her and her husband Luke. But it wouldn't be England if we weren't also welcomed by rain and dense fog.
Okay, Anna.
It's a bit spooky.
It's very spooky. I can't see anything. I'm seriously considering to switch on the radar.
Oh,
A baby rabbit.
baby rabbit. Oh, that's so cute.
Rabbit.
It's leading us the way. It's leading us.
Alice in Wonderland.
Hey, little rabbit.
Julie and Luke were so kind to host us in one of their rental cottages on the estate, just a few minutes away from their manor house, where we spent the night before meeting them the next day.
Oh my goodness. Wow, this is beautiful.
Do you think that's it?
I think it's here. Ooh, look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh, look. Dear Anna and Philip, we hope you have a wonderful time here at Mapperton and we are thrilled to finally meet you. Here's to a fun collaboration and cheers to new friends, Julie and Luke. Oh my gosh. They've got their own sparkling wine.
Oh.
Mapperton estate.
Oh, that is really chic.
Oh, that's amazing. And some beautiful flowers.
Oh,
Oh, this is beautiful.
look at the beautiful window.
This is stunning.
Oh,
Do you want to go and have a look upstairs?
so cozy.
Should we go find your room? Oh, there's a... Philip,
Yeah.
there's a nice wood burner here. Look at this.
Yeah, hold on. I'm just look at it. You can't see much because it's so foggy. But it's a
Oh.
beautiful cottage,
There's
isn't
a
it?
fire pit outside.
Oh, that
apparently.
is so quintessentially English, isn't
yeah.
it? Oh.
Oh. Ella wants to sleep on the bunk bed, she just said.
Okay.
Oh,
let's
look, here comes
continue.
Ziggy.
Oh, there's a dog, and he looks really at home here.
And look, there's a wood burner. Look at that beautiful
Oh.
fireplace. Oh, I cannot wait to... We can
Oh, we
light
should
this
light a
this evening.
fire.
Yeah, this evening we can do that.
Ziggy, behave. We are not at home.
But it's beautiful. I mean, I can't wait to see the view out here tomorrow. Hopefully the rain has gone.
Beautiful.
Have you already decided where you're sleeping? Oh, wow,
Oh, look
that's
at
the
little
TV room.
little snug
I'm coming. Let me
TV
put the
room.
light. Let me put
But
the
I
light.
love these windows, Anna. I love this.
I love them
That's,
too.
what period is that? Georgian?
No, older. The stonework. I mean,
Yeah.
it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ziggy's leading the way.
Oh, all these windows, so pretty. Oh, look at that.
Ziggy is totally checking out the space.
Okay.
Oh, this is
Let's
beautiful.
quickly
Look.
choose a room before the others
Philip.
choose.
Huh? Yeah, Ziggy, no, you're not really meant to be up here, darling. Ziggs,
Ziggy, go
what
down.
are you doing?
Down.
You're not allowed up here.
Oh, look at the bathroom. Very pretty.
Beautiful. I love how they've renovated it.
Yeah.
It looks very different this morning, doesn't it?
Yes.
Wow.
I can't wait to explore the house now.
Yeah, me too. And it's so beautiful. We can actually see the countryside. Do you know where you're going?
No, is that the right way?
I hope so. Are you sure you went the right way? I don't know if you went the right
know.
way.
I think so. There was only one way.
Was that?
Yes.
We are at Mapperton this morning and it is beautiful and sunny. We are so lucky because yesterday we couldn't really see anything and we woke up to the most beautiful sun, most beautiful countryside, and it's really exciting because I don't really know this part of Dorset. It's the opposite side of Dorset from where I'm from, and we are at the most beautiful manor house, and it's Luke and Julie's home, and we're so excited. You're very inspiring to us with how your approach to renovating, restoring this incredible building and all of the business ideas and projects that you have going on. So I think it's going to be really fun to, like, as we walk around, you can tell us a bit more about what you're doing
and compare ideas. And of course, I'm wearing one of Anna's beautiful scarves. I mean, you're so innovative and imaginative and creative on all of your projects as well. So I take my hat off to you, and I'm always like, oh, that is such a good idea. Oh my gosh, we should be doing that.
Being YouTubers is quite a special, strange world to be in. And so it's lovely and very refreshing to discuss what it is like on a day-to-day basis. Like, how are you managing to survive as a couple?
We've been doing it for 5 years. I think
you guys.
Almost as long as you guys. Maybe about the same time. And here we are. And it's been a wonderful journey. And
it hasn't all been perfect.
No, it hasn't all been perfect, but it has been mostly pretty fun. Anyway, you're most welcome to be here. We're standing at the front of the house here at Mapperton, and we're slight imposters because our family didn't arrive here 300 years ago. My grandfather came here in the 50s, and we used to be in a much larger house, if you can believe it. He downsized, and then after the war, in common with so many large houses and estates, things were just unaffordable. And my grandfather was very keen to keep a kind of sensible number of staff looking after him. He couldn't afford it there, so here he only needed to have about 4 or 5 people instead of 40.
We're very inspired by you hosting these beautiful retreats.
Yes, grand historic tours. Yeah, definitely you guys should do that.
So people can come and actually stay in your home in this beautiful house.
With Luke and I. And so we've got concerts, black tie dinners. We have, you visit other historic houses who are friends of ours. You have private lunches with them and private tours. And then we're so close to the Jurassic Coast. We're 10 minutes from the sea.
With Luke and Julie, we were just as curious about the idea behind the house as the house itself. Because unless you are incredibly wealthy, every historic home comes with the same questions. How do you keep it alive without it consuming you? How do you maintain it, improve it, and still make it sustainable? So hearing how they think about this was just as fascinating as the estate itself.
It's all Tudor, but it's been remodeled. You know, every generation decided that they wanted to impress their friends with the latest architectural styles and changes. So the front here is now Jacobean. The main building was Tudor behind it. But if you go around to the north, you'll actually see that it's Georgian. So you've got three different centuries of architecture here.
First owner of this land and property was actually from Normandy.
Yep, that's right.
And he was a friend and sort of he was with William the Conqueror.
So Montague comes from the French Montaigu, which of course means pointy mountain.
And there's also another connection. So Honfleur is twinned with Sandwich. Did you know this?
I think I did know that.
So at the end of our property, there is a little road, and it's called Rue Sandwich.
Oh my gosh.
And it's literally on our property. We have a Rue Sandwich, which is Sandwich Road. You're the Earl and Countess of Sandwich.
That is absolutely true, yes. It's a title that goes back to the time of the first Earl. We're going to introduce you to him when he's here. And he was responsible for bringing King Charles II back from Holland as part of the Restoration. And as a reward, he was given a title, but he was given a choice because there were 5 naval ports at the time. There was obviously Portsmouth as well. And we could have been given the name Portsmouth. So instead of eating sandwiches, everybody might be eating Portsmouth instead.
So you know that's where the sandwich comes from.
All right, let's head in. This is brilliant.
So this is called an overmantel. This was the original Tudor Great Hall, and it went all the way back. So that panelling is much more recent, and then there's the dining room beyond. But this was all one big room. And what I always find fun about this room is that the ceiling looks very Tudor. It looks like it's been here forever, but actually it was put in the 1920s by the owner at that time, who was called Ethel Labuschagne. Labouchere, and where you see what look like beams going across, they're actually rolled steel joists holding the roof up. And one of the wonderful things about Mapperton is that we haven't had to do major structural work because it was all done in the 20s. It's got steel girders everywhere holding everything up, which is great.
This has been, Mapperton was in the same family for 600 years. And then it was sold out of the family for the first time in 1919 by Mrs. Ethel Labouchere, a widow, who then put in this lovely arts and crafts ceiling. She's the one who created the gardens. And then, as Luke mentioned, in 1955 was when your grandfather bought this. And so the collection that you see here is from over the past 350 years.
Over this way, we can see a picture of the first Earl of Sandwich.
Really?
And that was Edward Montague. He was born in 1625. And Lily, can you believe that by the time he was 18, he was commanding a regiment of 100 men in Cromwell's army? 18. So young.
When people hear about somebody inheriting a place like that, it sounds like a dream coming through, but it's a huge responsibility. And most people, at least in France, who inherit places like that, they can't survive because it needs so much money to keep these properties alive. And we don't live in times anymore where you can just tax all the peasants around and use that money to finance your lifestyle.
So in the last 50 to 75 years, all the historic house owners and estate owners in the UK have been desperate to try and keep these places going because they cost so much. Mm-hmm. And it is no longer about living with a huge retinue of servants and having a very grand lifestyle. It's about what can we do to preserve these buildings, preserve the collection, keep the stories alive. And so we see ourselves not really as owners, we see ourselves as custodians. And we need to come up with really entrepreneurial and new ways of raising income. And YouTube has been incredibly helpful for that, with our patron community contributing to the huge restoration costs that we have here of various things. That's been one of the things that we've done. This is the room in the house with the grandest furniture and some of the best pictures. You've got this picture over here by Joshua Reynolds of the fourth Earl of Sandwich. We talked about the first Earl, but this is the one who really has a claim to fame for inventing all of our favourite fast food.
The sandwich.
He was in charge of the Navy. One of the things I always tease Julie about is that he was in charge of the Navy at the time that we lost the colonies, those American colonies. And some people credit him or blame him for not having the Navy in the right place. He was worried about Napoleon and all the things that the French were doing.
It's a smart room. We use it for like Christmases. We use it for our grand historic tours. And the furniture that you see around is lovely suite of Regency. It's rosewood, and it's from the 6th Countess of Sandwich, Louisa, and that's her bust over there. We've talked about the house was Tudor. So this is the original fleur-de-lis ceiling. So that's original, and you can see, I mentioned that this had been in the same family for around 600 years, and one of the first families was the Brett family, and that's their Brett lion. I don't do this for tours, but this is...
You do this for really special people.
Really special
This happens once every 10 years.
Exactly. But you can see the outline to the original Tudor door when the house was built by the Morgan family in the around 1540s. This would have been the door that went straight onto probably some type of Tudor garden out front. Another Richard Brodripp, the 4th, during the Georgian period, probably ran out of money most likely, but probably wanted to make the entire house Georgian because that was the style. But he only did one side on the outside, but put in these sash windows. And then you can see above here, this is a Rococo ceiling. So he put in the Rococo ceiling. This is a staircase that was done by they were called actually the bastard brothers of Blandford. Blandford is in Dorset, and they were known architects, and they created this wonderful staircase here. So he did a lot of the remodeling as well. And then you'll see in the library another Rococo ceiling.
We've got more of the first Earl up here. We've got Cromwell up atop.
Wow. These are incredible.
We've got this is the seascape of the Battle of Sole Bay, which was in 1672. It was when those pesky Dutch decided they wanted to come and destroy our fleets. There were all these trade wars going on.
This is the library. but we use it as an exhibition space. We won't get into the whole exhibition, but this is Alberta, Luke's great-grandmother, who is an American heiress, who came over during that Gilded Age period, and she was the subject of my dissertation.
Because we've got all the letters of my great-grandmother from a long period of her life, Julie has done this amazing job of getting all of the letters transcribed and put into a database. We thought, well, now we've got a database, let's see if we can recreate my great-grandmother in AI. And that is what we've done here. Lily has come over with her parents from France, where they have been restoring a chateau. Did you ever go and visit France? And do you remember staying in any chateau over there?
Luke, how delightful to hear from you. And Lily, my dear, how charming that you are embarking upon a restoration. France, indeed, was a place I visited in my younger years, though I recall it more from Paris than Chateau.
Did you already meet the Queen?
Indeed, I did meet Queen Victoria. I recall one particular occasion at court, when I was still adjusting to English society. She had such an imposing presence.
Do you guys have one of these rooms where you kind of dump everything?
Oh, yes, definitely. We have the room of doom. Oh, well, we're almost getting to the point where we are almost clearing the room of doom, which is the attic, because that's where we're going to start renovating.
That's right. Okay, yeah, it's a real mess. Oh gosh, I don't even
Don't
want.
worry,
I don't even
we
want
have-
Luke coming in here. I don't want Luke. So this is everybody, my dumping ground for my textiles, and because Luke's family has amazing textiles that we found in a trunk, I've had to put them into like proper textile boxes. So this is I thought I'd bring this one out for you because it's from the fabric is Lyon, between about 1740 and 1750, and you can see the amazing silver and gold thread.
So this is a jacquard. This would have been woven, or this looks like a jacquard.
yeah.
Wow.
You can see that it's been altered. So a lot of 18th century dresses were then altered for 19th century use. It was a really common thing to go to costume parties. And so this is a really good example of where this would have been the jacket, the sort of coat that went over it. And you can see the repair that needs to, in one sense.
So these wouldn't have been frayed originally.
Exactly. So that's more of the silk starting to shred. But at least the color is in pretty good nicks.
These are what's called the coronation robes. So they're what the lords and ladies would wear when a king and queen goes to their coronation. And so these would have been worn by my grandfather last in the Queen's coronation, and before that possibly by my great-grandparents.
So what are your main ideas to keep this property running and to keep renovating?
Philip, I mean, keeping these places going is really challenging, and we're just constantly having to think of new things to do, because it's not just the main house here. We've got all these stable blocks. We've got numerous farm buildings that have collapsed that need restoration. In the UK, we have a legal obligation to keep these properties going. So there's a barn in the middle of a field, probably a mile from anywhere else, that we have to keep the roof on. And that might just cost £50,000 on its own for a barn that does nothing at all except sit in the landscape. There is a pressure, but I think it's also, had we been handed an estate that was, fully functioning and financially viable, we wouldn't have had the same challenge that we have today. Yes. And every generation things shift, and every generation has new ideas. And, with my amazing wife, we've been able to bring a lot of digital ideas to life at Mapperton, and of course bring people here to come and stay and visit and enjoy it.
It's a different generation. It's like you two as well. What we are both embarking on as couples is looking at different ways that we can use these important buildings, the Chateau, the Fleur, Mapperton here. So it's not, as Luke said, like closed off, like this is just, where we live and that's it. But as you guys are embarking on your huge, ambitious project for being a hotel and having people come and stay there and then appreciate the land all around Normandy, etc. It's the same thing here. We want people to come, stay, but then get outside and visit, you know, the Jurassic Coast, visit other heritage sites around.
And you're not relying on tax money. You offer something in exchange for the experiences people can have here.
Yeah.
One of the great successes since we've taken over has been the number of people wanting to come and help out. Yeah, we've got 60 volunteers, 60 regular volunteers. Some of them come and give guided tours in the house, which is fantastic, and they've been doing that for a long time.
They know it so well that
They know it better than us, of course. And then we have other volunteers who come and help with the wildlands. So they're helping with nature recovery, planting. They're helping with doing all sorts of things in the woodlands. And then within that, we have what's called social prescribing. This is where local doctors' surgeries will recommend that people come and volunteer at Mapperton as a way of improving their well-being, joining up with other people in a kind of social enterprise, working together in the countryside, really good for your health. That's been really important.
How many gardeners do you have?
So we have head gardener and then like two, I'd say two under gardeners, but then we've got a lovely team of volunteers as well.
We had volunteers in France. We had volunteers at the Chateau. At the beginning, until we found out that it's perfectly legal in France to have volunteers. The idea of a volunteer doesn't exist unless it's a non-profit charity, but you can't be a business and at the same time having volunteers. And it's so silly, and we got so upset. And we had huge lists of people who, like, we get every week messages from people who would come volunteer. We can't. You can't. For our viewers who do not know your channel or your channels, which video should we point to? Which is the most important to watch first?
It's got to be Mapperton Live, and it's got to be Julie in the 18th century swimming pool.
Okay, so I'm going to put these videos up here.
That's where it all kind of began for us. But yeah, please do come and see us on Mapperton Live. We do have other channels as well. There's American Countess, which Julie goes out to other people's historic houses and celebrates what they're doing on their houses and estates as well.
And unlike our place, people can already visit here, right?
Yeah.
So what do they need to do if they want to discover this?
If you just head to mapperton.com, you can find all of our tickets, all of our events, all of our tours, the rewilding tours, house tours, cafe information, all on mapperton.com.
No, this has been amazing, and we're so grateful for you guys to take the time out of your very busy schedule to show us around, talk to us about all your amazing projects you're doing here. And also tomorrow there's going to be a garden, a plant fair here.
So the plant fair it's one day, and it was started by my mother-in-law like 40 years ago, and it's grown, and it's like a specialist plant fair, and we are hoping to get almost 2,000 people here in one day. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is that another way of you funding some of the renovation and restoration work?
Yep. So every ticket goes towards, we have a charity that we always support. So some of the tickets from that goes towards that. And then the rest goes back into the estate.
Every year there is at least one major thing that happens which you just can't predict. Yeah. And it's typically, I don't know, £30,000 to £50,000 to repair the water system, or a roof collapses, or the eagles at the front of the house fall over and we need to do all of that. So it's just on a place of this scale, it's really unpredictable what's going to be happening. What you can predict is that something will happen. Yes. And you never quite know how big it's going to be.
I must admit I am a little bit jealous about these gardens. The historic features, the established trees, the pools. Why don't we have that at the Chateau? That's not fair. I was briefly considering to instigate a revolution and take over the entire estate. But that might not even be legal in the UK. And what happens if then somebody else gets jealous of me? The cycle would never end. So I came to the conclusion that if I don't have these gardens and I want something approximating these gardens, I need to improve my own. And there is an incredible parallel to the jealousy you might experience when you come across a beautiful homepage and you compare it to your own. And you ask yourself, why is this one so great and mine a little lame? Well, you could either drown in frustration and self-pity, or you make the surprisingly small effort to improve your homepage using Squarespace, an all-in-one platform to create an outstanding web presence, which also happens to be this week's ad. And unlike planting such a royal garden, which takes years to establish, Squarespace includes a powerful AI to help you creating a website that matches your style and needs, but it can also help you to come up with a complete new design if you feel to completely refresh your online presence. Whether this is for a personal project, a big web shop for your e-commerce business, or an easy-to-operate page to schedule appointments for your clients. And if you want to accept payments through your page, no problem. Squarespace covers this with an integrated payment tool, so you don't need to use third-party tools to be able to accept all major payment systems and providers. I highly suggest to browse through their vast library of templates, which you can also use as a starting point. They are really inspiring. So if you never want to experience homepage jealousy again, I suggest head over to squarespace.com/howtorenovate-a-chateau for a free trial. And if you're ready to launch, use offer code Chateau to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
So today there is a plant fair at Mapperton, which is very exciting. So we're going to go and find Julie. I think she's actually got a stand where she's selling some of the plants from their own garden. Hi Julie. Snap.
So this is our own stall. We've got Caroline and Lizzie here who help volunteer here, and what we've done is when we were restoring our kitchen garden, we had to lift quite a lot of things because it was a wreck. It was like the whole thing needed to be transformed. So we lifted rhubarb, we've lifted irises, and we're selling those today. And then Caroline, who volunteers in our conservatory, which you must go through, is lovely. She did little cuttings of succulents. They were like this big, and now look at them, they're beautiful. And same with the geraniums. So this is my sign this morning that I made.
Mapperton plants. Take a little piece of Mapperton home with you today.
Yep.
All proceeds goes toward the restoration of our Mapperton kitchen garden.
There you go.
That's brilliant.
I want to gift you something. Do you want rhubarb? Would you like rhubarb?
Rhubarb, yeah.
Rhubarb.
Look how nice this clematis is.
And the wisteria is so pretty on this building here. I know that Julie was saying that this is one of their next renovation projects, apparently.
Yes, that's such a beautiful building.
Because this one here, this beautiful building here has been transformed into their cafe, which we've just had coffee and cake from, and it's delicious. And look, wow, what an amazing greenhouse.
So this is the Georgian front. Remember how we spoke about how Richard Brodripp IV came? And he was like, okay, I'm gonna show off my wealth and money, and Georgian style was really fashionable. So he took out all the mullion windows here and then put in these sash windows, but only did one side, and we think he ran out of money.
But it's beautiful. It's like our chateau, we only have one wing.
That's right.
And everybody's like, don't you want to add another wing? And we're like, we would love to if we had the money, but we don't.
Exactly. You can see the pergola there and the new timber on there.
Yes.
And anyway, everybody who's watching our channel knows that this was a huge project. It took about, 4 months or something like that. What happened was the columns started to tilt, like worse than the Leaning Tower of Pisa, like really bad. So
you can see one slightly tilting at the
exactly.
end. Yeah.
So we got through 11 of them, and then we sort of ran out of money.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yes.
And then we were like,
okay,
stop.
No, yeah.
So, and that one wasn't tilted as badly as other ones, so we thought we could
that was okay.
It was okay, but we've got it fixed now. Because
so not only have you got to renovate your incredible manor house and the estate, you've also got these amazing gardens, but they're also a lot of work.
It's wonderful, again, having houses like this and being the custodians of it, but sometimes, in fact, every year, something big happens and you're like, we didn't prepare for that. And that was the pergola, and that was 4 months, thousands of pounds to repair, and you have to.
Yeah, otherwise it's just going to be lost.
It's going to be lost.
Yeah,
and
it's such a shame.
Yep. So this is an Acer Griseum, so it's a maple paperback, and the girth is the Dorset County champion for the girth.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Isn't it lovely?
That's very inspiring to see, because ours looks like nothing at the moment, but one day it will be like this.
And then Mrs. Labouchere put in a lot of statuary. So you'll see herons, you'll see owl, lion, And it's made from like a composite stone, and it was super popular to do in the 1920s. So you'll see all of that around. And then of course, that's the pool I swim in.
Oh my goodness.
So we'll head there first.
Yes.
So you guys I've seen on your channel, obviously you're really redoing your garden.
We have to replant the garden because there were only some nice trees, but mostly invasive sycamore trees and brambles. So we're really reworking on the garden to recreate a complete new garden.
It's amazing.
It will be nice.
It will be so nice. And then your girls will look at that, and your grandchildren, all of that, they'll be like, oh my gosh.
They did it.
And that's what's so nice about planting trees, is that they really can stay for hundreds of years, and people will remember them. This probably would have been a Tudor fishery. So it would have fed that community, fed the house, because it would have had fish in both of the pools. Some people say that this is 18th century, so we actually refer to this as our 18th century pool, but it could be older, we're uncertain. All right, for those of you who are asking about Splurtle, there he is. He's so happy.
I love meeting Splurtle the turtle. Oh look, here he is, he's swimming.
Oh, there he goes, wow.
Oh, he's having a little swim. He's pretty quick.
Yeah.
I was on a plane recently watching a film called Far From the Madding Crowd.
Yes!
I spotted what I thought was Mapperton. I stopped the film and I said, Philip, I think that's Mapperton.
Yeah. You watch Carey Mulligan, Far From the Madding Crowd. This is her house. So yeah, so it was brilliant. And it was so much fun having them film here. I mean, they were here for we actually had to close the house to the public, house and gardens to the public, for I think maybe 2 months.
Oh wow.
But it's worth it, because when you get films in, it helps to pay for, huge work.
With our relatively small chateau, its outbuildings and grounds, we can only imagine what it takes to keep an estate like this alive. It was genuinely inspiring to see the level of thought and ingenuity Luke and Julie bring to it as custodians of this place. Luke also took us on a tour of their land, where he is dedicating a significant part to a rewilding project, turning former agricultural fields back into wild landscapes to increase biodiversity. We've shared a full tour on Patreon. It's fascinating, so do have a look, and it's the perfect moment to become a patron if you're not already. You'll find the link in the description below. So thank you again, Luke and Julie, for hosting us. Do check out their channels, and if you're interested in sailing, have a look at their son Nestor's channel as well. He's preparing for an ambitious sail to become the youngest sailor to sail around the UK. All the links are in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time back at the Chateau.